Hey everyone, welcome to People Drink Words, the podcast where we drink words but not only. And today we will talk about cancel culture. Cancel! Cancel culture. Yeah. So what is that? I mean, you probably know, I have a vague idea of what that is, but I'm going to rely on the only real dictionary out there, the Urban Dictionary. Cancel culture, top definition. A desire to cancel out a person or community from social media platforms. It is characterized by the response of an evil individual when they are shown to be wrong. They will call on their followers to report the social media accounts of the person or group that did the criticizing rather than discussing the criticism or shrink by evidence that criticism is incorrect. Narcissists make up the majority of the people who engage in cancel culture, and others who do this would include immature individuals. That's actually the best definition I could imagine. And yeah, Urban Dictionary, always on point with these things. Example of cancel culture. Johnny was criticized for being vindictive against Janie, or Janie, whatever you say that. And instead of discussing the problem, Johnny called his followers to report the account, cancel culture style, of the person who made the criticism. The McRae boomer was offended because of some dictionary definitions he read and applied cancel culture by calling on his followers to report the definitions rather than having a good belly laugh at them. So yeah, that's just... I should love that definition. That's amazing. That's exactly what it... At least that's definitely how it feels that it is. I can't tell for a fact that it's how it is because I haven't engaged in that sort of practice, nor I haven't been victim of that myself. But I know that people around are worried. I'm worried to an extent as well about it, that you can't say anything anymore. I think, okay, maybe we should speak while we can speak, because maybe there'll be a time where just uploading that video will get me cancelled in 20 years from now, just for reading that Urban Dictionary definition. Like, oh, that definition is offensive. Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And yeah, then you get fucked. It feels like that, and yeah. And I think one of the interesting thing is that when there was that open letter from J.K. Rowling and co., I'll get back to that later, I was seeing on Twitter people saying that, oh, but it doesn't exist. Look at can you list me the people who tried to cancel? Louis C.K., J.K. Rowling, they're still fine, they're still rich. I'm like, wait a second. That's not how this works. You can't say you try really hard to make someone's life miserable, and only because you failed to make them homeless and begging on the streets of London, you're like, it doesn't exist. It's basically saying that, successful businesses don't exist because I've tried to make one myself and it's failed. You can't say something doesn't exist because you tried to do that thing and that it failed, or that you didn't get the results you wanted. You'd still try very hard, and that's that trying very hard thing that people are calling out these days. And yeah, and what happened, so the most recent thing was J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter books, who's actually been, more than once in that virtue signaling game, saying, okay, I'm pro this, I'm pro that, supporting here, supporting that, kind of, I won't say blindly or blankly, but I'm guessing there was some good intentions behind that, and now she's realizing, oh shit, that's not good, that's not so good, because now you're losing women's rights. Well, actually, I don't know exactly about the women's right being lost, but that's what she claims. She claims that erasing the definition of a woman may make women's voices even less heard, which would be quite funny that you get men that make women's voices lesser, but it's fine because they look like women or say that they are. You're like, wait a second, you just sent women back years in the past. But that's, I guess I would need to know more about all these things so I can talk about it properly, but at least from what I see, it seems like you can have a guy go fight in not lucha libre, wrestling in high school, beat up girls and say, oh, they don't beat me, they're losers. no. Like, you're a jock and you just say to let your hair grow. Let your hair grow, like, oh yeah, but now I want to compete against women. That shouldn't be like that. And I think some people are annoyed about these issues because they think, well, that's not fair. I mean, a woman's a woman, and it doesn't matter how hard they try, they won't be as strong as a man. And yes, of course, you have those outliers of these women that will be able to bulk up and be able to beat up most men. But if you pick a man with roughly the same dispositions at birth, not disposition, what I mean, like having the same sort of conditions, taking the same drugs, taking the same food, same training as a woman, he's going to be stronger. You're going to be stronger, you're going to be more resilient, more, I don't know about the endurance part, but you're definitely going to be more powerful. So something like wrestling, you're a guy transitioning to become a woman, you're still going to be a hell of a lot stronger than the girls that were just girls from the time they were born. There's no way around that. Then, I guess depending on the sport you'll discuss, maybe in football, nah, I watch women football, like they're nowhere near. They lose against district teams here, so that's not even close. So I guess football is a bad example. Rugby could, no. Golf is definitely one where I could imagine women compete with men and beat them up. And yeah, there has to be a few ones out there where you could have a free-for-all thing. Because technically, men competitions, it's not forbidden for women to enter. It's just that they wouldn't win. But maybe some don't enter because they don't know that they could join, but technically, competitions for men, like male categories, anyone can go in. It's just like strongest wins. Simple. Then female competitions, like, okay, strongest women win, which is good. Maybe strongest women is going to be the strongest person depending on what sport you're doing, and that's great. But you don't... That is a very tricky topic, but like, let's just roll back to where I was starting. So J.K. Rowling, she saw that article, actually I saw it as well, I was like, wait, that feels so out of place. About menstruation, there you go, there was, tips and advices for people who menstruate or some shit like that. And she retweeted it, and that's actually how I saw it the first time. Like, I'm sure there used to be a word for it. It's like woman, women. I guess I lost it. And people fucking went nuts. They piled on like, oh, you transphobic bitch. You, what's that other one? TERF. Oh god, I discovered that word a few months ago. It's like exclusion. Fuck. Okay, you Google it, okay? I'm not your parent. I'm not your dad. TERFs, like something with trans-exclusionary feminist. Fuck, why did you have to make that word so hard? Trans-exclusionary feminist. Fuck's sake. There you go. So that's a term that's used against women who want to defend women's rights, and they're seen as being exclusive to the trans community, which I don't see how J.K. Rowling's creation was transphobic or exclusive. It's just like, hey, people that menstruate, we used to call them women. Well, I mean, I still do personally, so I don't know why that would change. But then that's where it goes crazier, because I feel like we're getting straight to a place where facts aren't facts anymore. Let me go back on that. So there was a fucking... I thought that was a bookshop, actually. There was like a soap company that came into the mix, saying a note to their contractors or whatever, saying, oh yeah, but everybody menstruates. Men, women, non-binary, everybody menstruates, and we totally support that. We're totally cool with that. They're like, what are you doing? Like, it's not like people are gonna see you in a better light because of it. And even, okay, and I'm guessing you have a minority of a minority that may maybe see you in a better light and maybe buy some of your soap, because you made that declaration that is nonsense, clearly nonsense. So why would you do that? Like, well, I guess that kind of works because I'm talking about them. Even though I don't remember their name, I didn't mention them, I'm guessing if you do some research, you'll be able to figure out who they are, and maybe that'll make some advertisement for them. or whatever. And if that's where it goes down to that, okay, I'm going to talk some random shit, some nonsense, because a few people that may not even know about my product or might never buy it will throw me a like on Twitter. It's fucking dumb. I think it's damaging. Well, I was mentioning that on previous episode about like how we losing meaning of words. Like if you call everybody as a racist, then what do you do when real racism comes to your door? If you're calling everybody transphobic, what do you do when real transphobia comes to your door? If you can't just, put some criticism into a comment that is nonsense to you, or maybe it's nonsense to most people with common sense, it shouldn't be that you just get called a transphobe and get cancelled. Because I mean, J.K. Rowling, she's fine. She's a billionaire. Well, I'm just saying random nonsense now. I think she is. I think I read that somewhere. So yeah, you can try to cancel her all you want. She won't get fucked. She'll be fine. She'll survive. When I think about other people who can't necessarily afford to lose their job by having hundreds of angry caNcELs just calling their bosses, say, "Oh hey, fire this transphobe because he liked that J.K. Rowling post." They're like, wait, what? That's just insane. Like, going out of your way to take someone's livelihood away because you disagree with them on the topic. It's not like they go around and smashing LGBTQ people with with a broomstick or with a chair in the street for no reason. No, it's like, oh, J.K. Rowling said, I think that makes sense. Like, it's a moderate position. So if even moderate position exposes you to extreme consequences, then of course nobody's going to want to speak or say anything. Everybody's going to shut up and get in line, and we lose meaning of words. We lose meaning of life. Then what's the point? If you can't say red without someone saying blue, if you can't say, but look, the sky, it's white and it's blue. Somebody's like, no bitch, it's yellow. It's offensive that it's white and blue. Why? It's offensive. Careful, gonna cancel you. I'm gonna look up your boss. Cancel. It's dumb. Just needs to stop. That's it. I mean, there was even like, I think I commented on, I don't know if it was on the sub-brand or on JK's post. Oh no, actually no, I didn't tweet on these. I think I tweeted directly on my feed, on my personal feed. Like a joke around that's like, oh, like, responding to that, everybody menstruates, saying, oh, okay, I didn't know that everybody menstruates. If so, I must be late a few decades, take it or leave it. Like, I mean, that's a joke. Might be funny to you, might not be, but made me laugh. I was like, I just put it out there. And it was that girl who seemed so angry, who engaged me, was like, oh, you think you're funny? Like, well, as it turns out, I happen to find myself quite hilarious. And then I thought, okay, let's see if we actually engage. I don't remember exactly the tweets, the back and forth, because, it's Twitter, and it was ages ago. It was like, yeah, probably a week or 2 weeks ago, which is thousands of years in internet time. But yeah, she was just very, very angry, and I thought, well, don't you know about trans men can menstruate? Oh yeah, there you go. Don't you know that trans men can menstruate? I'm like, I'm sorry. I missed that in my joke. I was saying men. I was referring to men in general. I didn't. Oh no, wait. What did I say? I said, oh no, I didn't put a trans in front of men. There we go. That was what I said. And she went crazy. Like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that? I feel like I'm pretty sure. Not sure. I can't tell for sure, but I'm guessing. Like, it's not hard to find where I work. You can find it. I use my actual name on Twitter, not one of those coward-ass bitches just hiding themselves and saying, oh no, I'm gonna put the fake username in the fucking anime profile picture so I can talk shit to people and tell them how they're bad people, that they're TERFs and whatever shit like that. Nah, put my real name, look me up, you'll find me. yeah, so I'm guessing, hey, maybe she even threw in a call to my boss. I'm like, hey, I ain't dropping like that. Come on, come on. But I guess because you don't know me, you wouldn't know. But yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. So where was that? Where was I at? So yeah, no, it feels like some people are just very angry and bored, and they think, hey, you know what? Who's canceling today? J.K. Rowling said that women exist. Oh yeah, that's totally wrong. Let's cancel that right now. But yeah. So as a reaction, that's when there was that liberal Avengers thing with J.K. Rowling and Chomsky and a bunch of other people that seen traditionally on the left side of the spectrum, because everything's a spectrum now. Well, I mean, technically everything is a spectrum. So I don't know why I say it like that. So yes, everything's a spectrum. So you get those people who are generally inching towards the left on the spectrum. And they came together to write an open letter calling out cancel culture for being toxic and preventing you from holding even moderate opinions. And that was interesting to see the reactions they got. You got like reactions as in, nah, they can't say, like I would say, they can't say cancel culture exists because they still have jobs. Like, yeah, but you did try very, very, very hard to take these jobs away from them. So you can't say, again, I would say, you try to rape someone, you're gonna say rape doesn't exist because you failed, the person escapes. Like, you tried very hard to do that thing that you now say doesn't exist. I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, then we're wrong. And think about, yeah, that definitely did not work there. I just tried to steal some Chappelle thing, but it doesn't work out. But yeah, no, really, you can't just try your best at something, fail, and say, oh, it doesn't exist because I failed. It's just nonsense. But then there's been even more. There's been what triggered me to record this episode is that it was like 1 or 2 weeks I didn't record an episode. Yes. The other thing that is just so that Bloomberg opinion piece, more like opinion piece of shit. Let's not go in the game of name calling and stuff, but really, it was painful for me to read all of it. And I thought, it's Bloomberg. Bloomberg generally is a serious paper with some opinions that might or might not be valuable depending on what you're interested in, like mostly in finance or banking, all these things, or like just business news in general. That's why I get Bloomberg in my feed in general. And then that Bloomberg opinions thing showed up from another Twitter account, which is Bloomberg Opinion, which I guess is a thing now. And there was that guy. I am not sure that I didn't remember the name. And I think it's a good thing, because maybe I'll read one of his pieces in the future without the, I would say, prejudice that I read a literal piece of shit last time I saw his name. So, yeah. Opinion about cancel culture. Not that it doesn't exist. Well, actually, that was the main point of it. Like, I would say, I'm mistranslating. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It's that maybe it exists, but we don't care. Yeah, that's pretty much the message. Cancel culture, like free. I think the part that lost me in the article, that I almost just rage closed the tab, was when the guy came in and tried to say, there's a lot of speech, there is a lot of free speech everywhere. Like, look, there's black people in all working all around me now. I'm sorry. You can't measure freedom in black people per square feet. Because if you did that, say, 200 years ago, you could say that the southern half of America was the freest country of them all. I'm just saying. That's not a good unit. That's not a good measure of unit. You don't measure things in black people per square feet to make yourself feel better. Oh, but look, That is good because you have a lot of black people around like, hey, so did plantations. I mean, didn't make it any better. So let's leave it at that. But yeah, so that's the thing that just got me, I wouldn't say angry, more disappointed. Not just disappointed that it was the thing like, okay, let's say, hey, we got black people working in places now, so I guess we're cool. No, it's not cool. It's fucking dumb. Jesus Christ, name calling again. I guess because it's late, because I think it's like, what, 10? I got a very frustrating day playing League of Legends. Promoted to the next division, which is good, but yeah, stressful games. Workday was good. Workday was fine. That was pretty chill. Got stuff done. So, amazing. Where was I? I need to go back on this podcast. So yeah, so there was that opinion piece. So in the first half, is basically calling out those authors, like J.K. Rowling, Chomsky, all these liberal authors that at times have been kind of, spearheads of that cancel culture, even though not always themselves directly, but would kind of let their followers do the job for them, which sucks. But it's good that now they see how that was a bad thing. Well, how that is, because it didn't stop, it still exists, how that is a bad thing, and so to come together to write that letter. So that was great. But yeah, I'm just thinking how people coming together to call out something that is clearly evil in its intent. Like, the goal is not merely to shame someone, it's to shame them and make them jobless and try to ruin their lives as much as possible. If that's not evil, I don't know what is. I have no idea. I'll just give it up to you guys to just do the research. And even better, there's that good old Trump argument, which is, oh, but Trump said cancel culture is bad. So if you say cancel culture is bad, you're with Trump. And if you're with Trump, then you're bad. And I'm thinking, not now, Siri. No, Siri, I'm good. So yes. If you agree with Trump or something, Jesus Christ, well, Siri. Yeah, I probably should turn off that thing. Let's finish that video in peace. So, sorry, it's late. So yes, basically the whole argument was like, if you agree on anything with Trump, you're with Trump, Trump is bad, you're bad, which is a very, what's the word for that, Manichaean way of seeing things. If not childish, let's say childish, because you can't discard someone's opinion on a given topic because you don't agree with them on something else. Like, yeah, you don't like that Trump is elected, and I guess just some people don't like that Trump is elected or even exists. And he kind of brought that on himself in a way, as in, if he wasn't such a dick, because he is, like, let's not lie to ourselves about that. If he wasn't such a dick, probably the bashing wouldn't be nearly as hard. But I guess at some point, when you're just taunting people, and yeah, when you're taunting people, like when you're just dunking on people, every single thing you'll do, even if it's not worth it, like not even close to being worth writing a tweet about, you'll have pages and pages of articles and news feeds and news videos, constant news feeds straight to our brains talking about it. And I guess he might be able to play with that. Maybe he's playing everyone. Maybe it's just like, okay, I need to do that really big thing and people are not going to like that. So let's just run some bullshit. Oh, grab by the pussy. Yeah, that sounds good. You talk about that and I'll just do something, some shady stuff behind. Who knows? Maybe just stop providing, maybe just all providing cover for him for dodgy stuff. Maybe not. Maybe he's just playing everybody's fool. Maybe he's just playing. Maybe he's just chilling. Like, nah, I'm 75. I don't give a shit. I'm just doing whatever. I'm president. I literally live six times my best life. I don't give a shit. And yeah, maybe he's just playing. And we all there getting all worked up about him just, didn't even think about it. Just put some words out there. Like, yeah, let's see what happens. And I got lost in my own argument, which is not really an argument. I'm kind of talking, rambling things in this microphone. But yeah, I think the other thing, apart from the Trump argument, which obviously nonsense, just dumb. But I mean, where do you go? Like, oh, you drank water. Hitler drank water. You're with Hitler. Yeah, that's exactly what that Trump argument sounds like. So I can't take that seriously from there. But then there was that whole look at the black people working around me argument. I was like, oh, not this. No. Just no. And lastly, there was that whole putting cancel culture in opposition with COVID-19. It's like, oh, the threat to civilization is not COVID-19. Well, of course it's not COVID-19. Come on. 99.7% survival rate. Yes, it kills people. Yes, it's bad. Yes, we need to wear masks and be careful so that it doesn't spread further. But I feel like people losing jobs or being afraid to speak up on any topic is more dangerous. Because you lose jobs, you don't know what impact that can have on generations. You think only about people dying now in hospitals. You don't think about people end up on the streets and maybe them and their families being into misery because they spoke of a topic that should be trivial, should be, I would say, because they gave a moderate opinion on something that should not be really controversial. And they get fucked. And their family gets fucked. And maybe who knows? Maybe they kill themselves. I mean, that seems like what that cancel culture thing is aiming at. Like, okay, we don't really have a legal way to make you stop doing what you're doing. So we'll try to push you to depression, or to get fired, or to kill yourself. Because, I mean, come on, look at Louis C.K. He did his time, like, he didn't do anything illegal, disappeared for 2 years, and even when he's going to do some stand-ups, people want him gone. How do you get someone gone? Like, oh no, you can't work anymore, sorry. Or you can't appear at places anymore. So what the fuck do you do? Yeah, just kill yourself. That's what they expect. Maybe that's why people are saying that it doesn't exist. Maybe they're saying it doesn't exist because nobody... Oh, actually, that is not true. That is not true that nobody died from cancel culture. Actually, probably most people forgot about it, but there was that porn star, August Ames, who said something about not wanting to shoot a scene with a guy because he did gay scenes and that she was worried about AIDS. That's all she said. That's all it took. Twitter piled on her. And I hadn't seen the tweets themselves because I wasn't really on Twitter back then. That was a few years ago. I do remember the story, like from the Franco show and so on. And people just apparently piled on her. She wrote one last tweet. Fuck y'all. And the day after, the news comes up that she killed herself. And it seems like it's the only thing that's gonna calm down people about the cancel culture. Is, yeah, the goal of that culture is to kill people. So you can't say that it's not a threat and oppose it to a virus. The virus kills people, but it doesn't aim at people. It's not trying to actively kill you. It ends up killing you. Maybe. In 0.3% of cases, if you catch it, which, if we go in statistics, the odds of you catching it, well, they're variable. But personally, I wouldn't take the chance of catching it. But also, I feel like it would be safer to get COVID-19 than to have thousands, millions of people trying to cancel you. Definitely less chances of dying. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, and that is a very long episode. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's Jean-Domingue Guéret, your coding nagger, for Maybe Daily and the People Drink Words podcast. Have a nice day, evening. Bye bye.